What's up guys, and welcome back to Media.Vision Plays, where today we have some more of the 100 line Last Defense Academy. So last time out we finished up the serial battles route, I think it's called, where essentially we just faced off against a ton of previous commanders. We come to find out at the end of it that apparently Wheildon-Dennis found a machine out of nowhere that allowed her to bring commanders over from a different timeline, so we had to face everybody again basically. And by the end of it we ended up having to face two Wheildon-Dennises, which was a crazy battle. I got my first not S of any battle, got a D for that one. That was rough. And then we get a decision at the end whether Takumi wants to call it quits, say that they're done and leave on the escape pod, or whether he wants to find the device, go back in time again, try to save everybody next time. So we saw both of those. Didn't really see anything interesting from either of those endings. It just sort of ended with that choice. But with that being said, one thing I did want to talk about, because I have been doing some recording in advance because I'm going to be out of town next week. So I want to make sure I had enough videos to upload for next week. But I did just get a few comments recently that I did want to address because it has sort of helped me, I guess, get a little bit better mindset on this game. Because I do think I was of the mindset that every route we were going to go through would have at least one good ending, maybe a couple. Like for instance, the Rebellion route, you had the bad ending where Commune kills Nozomi, we kill Commune, and then it ends up just a hellscape. But then you had the other two endings where either you help the Rebellion and manage to find peace, or you keep Nozomi alive and Takumi and Nozomi get to live out their life trying to find a way back to peace. But in reality, that's not how this game seems to function, and the Eito route is the one in particular that helped me realize that that route is supposed to be Takumi being punished for what he did, deciding to kill Eito out of hatred. So that is sort of why there's no good ending on that route for Takumi, which it does make sense when I think about it from that framework. But also I think looking at the choices in the game, because I also discussed how some of these choices, it almost feels like the opposite happens of what the choices seem to suggest. Like I said, you choose to save humanity, all of humanity dies. You choose to kill Eito, he stays alive inside of you, and he actually wins. You choose to not have Shion fight so he can conserve his energy, and it actually backfires and he uses more of it and causes there to be more battles. And it does sort of go to show that sometimes you make choices with the best intentions, but it has unforeseen consequences. And it's something that I have noticed, but I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, but I think that is the point of some of these routes, it seems. So I'm not sure if every route is supposed to have that feeling of sometimes there are unintended consequences based on what you choose, but it definitely does have an interesting context as far as going into all of these decisions. I have in my mind why I'm choosing something, but ultimately we see most of the time that's not how things play out. I think that happens even in life. You decide to go to something that seems inconsequential, but then while you're there, something happens that ends up being a big deal. So I just want to say, first of all, I appreciate the comments because it did help with me formulating my opinion on it. I still do mostly dislike the Eito route just because Eito as a character before he learns the truth is still kind of a dick, and I don't like seeing him win. But like I said, it does give me a new appreciation for how this game is structured and all of the different writing decisions that have been made. So thank you so much to the people who commented, and let's see what we're going to get into this time. Alright, so first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to decide who to save, and this time instead of saving Gaku, we're going to save Kurara, which is kind of hilarious because I have been joking about not really liking Gaku. So now it's going to be interesting to see without him here, what's that going to lead to? Alright, we're finally back to here. So time to, instead of saving Gaku, come over here and save Kurara.
Take this! I can't die yet! I have to look after my family!
Well, they don't exist, Gaku, so don't worry about it. Like I said the first time though, it's not like losing either of these is really that disheartening for me. I only saved Gaku the first time because Kako told me that that was the best way to get to the truth. Goodbye, you little asshole. Oh no, not Gaku.
Just one, then? At least I managed to buy myself some time.
All of a sudden, she's just like, wait a minute, I barely got any hemo anima from him. He was so weak. Ha, that's right, bitch. You thought you took our best fighter. You actually took our worst one.
Still, that must be some incredible power. To inflict such a grave wound on someone as great as I won't let my guard down. Slowly but surely, I will gain power. And you're the slop that will serve that purpose. I'm going to eat and eat until I've had my fill. And when I have that power for myself, I'll become God.
Media.Vision gave her monologue as we were struck by complete despair. Then she limped away, along with the massive invaders. Some of us were overcome with rage and tried to follow her. Some of us desperately tried to stop them. Some of us had tears rolling down our faces as they ran over to Gaku's body. And all I could do was stand there, rooted to the spot, dumbfounded. Alright. We move on. I'm only half kidding, to be honest. Not too long after that, we made a grave for Gaku in the corner of the schoolyard. This was the third one. We'd lost yet another friend. My decision killed Gaku. I came back here from the future and yet 3 people still died. Why was this happening? Friends of mine who had never died otherwise were now gone because I decided to come back. Maybe I was never supposed to redo things. Because of my decision, Gaku, Kiyoshika, and Dadami were dead. All because of me. And so, with the sacrifice of yet another life, our 33rd day at Last Defense Academy came to an end. Jeez, day 33 and 34 now? Oh, we're so far back. I couldn't sleep at all, not that I'd expected to. Whenever I closed my eyes, I saw Gaku's last moments in my head, so I just kept them open. I had no will to get out of bed, but I can't just lay here. I wonder how everyone else is holding up. I need to get to the cafeteria. I dragged myself out of bed and trudged gloomily down the halls. When I got to the cafeteria, things were way more lively than I'd ever imagined. Oh, damn it. Sirei, did you give everybody the drink again? That makes everybody all perky and excited and stuff? Fucking pussy invaders! If you want to fight, come get some. I'm invincible! I'll pile drive every single one of them into the mat! Gaku, your dear brother will protect you no matter what.
What are you saying? I'm the one who's going to protect you, Ima.
Everyone was abnormally worked up and shouting over each other. What's going on here? Sumino, you're late! Latecomers have to chug! Drink this energy drink! Drink it! For the record, there is something weird in it, but it won't cause any harm, so don't fret. Don't fret. What's in it?
Hey!
Just something to perk you up. I can't tell you any more than that. You know, when things get rough, adults turn to the bottle too. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I need to get you all in fighting condition again, even if it has to be by force. But still.
I'll power up all our weapons. I'll make us all stronger than ever.
You guys are all too caught up in convention. Who decided we had to be limited to having 2 eyes, 2 arms, or even 2 legs? Don't you have any respect for the human soul? I won't allow it. I won't.
What a horrible racket. Still, this might be better than just being depressed.
Hideko, Nozomi, you're both your usual selves. You're not having any? I think last time Nozomi wasn't actually here because she was mourning Kurara. It's kind of interesting that she's here this time.
No, I'm a little too scared to try it. I had some, but it doesn't seem to work on me. Booze, energy drinks, all of that other stuff. It never has any effect.
Other stuff? Hey, I don't see Ava or Nigo. Do you know where they are? In maintenance. I asked Nigo to check Ava out since she was acting strangely yesterday. The sanctity of human life. Anyway, have some, Sumino. Forget all of our woes. We can have a better tomorrow. There's no need to worry about Media.Vision. With her recuperating from her wounds, I suspect she won't be attacking again for a while. There's no handy-dandy tech like a Revive-O-Matic on their side after all. Come on, have a drink and put it all behind you. What about the handy-dandy tech that lets him bring back invaders from another timeline? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, clearly. Anguish and sadness will only further hinder you.
He's right, Takumi. At times like these, you have to drink like your life depends on it. Yeah. Why am I the one still alive? Kurara. I should have been the one who died. No, don't say that. That's not true at all.
Yes, it's actually a small mercy that Mariko is the one we lost. After all, nobody really liked him. That's all I can think of.
Small mercy?
I mean, think about it. It was between him or you, Suzuki. You're the stronger fighter, so we're much better off having you around. Well, until we get the one commander that uses sound to cause illusions. That's going to be the interesting thing to determine how we fight back against that without Gaku.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Hey.
Not to mention how your death would have affected the others. Is there anyone here who considered Mariko their best friend? Damn! Holy shit!
What's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said. When a beloved character dies, it has a negative effect on everyone around them. So it's a small mercy that it was an unpopular loner like Mariko. Oh my god. Wow. Like I said, I was only half kidding. Like, yeah, I didn't like Gaku, really. But damn, to have the game say it. Holy shit, that is dark as hell. It's kind of funny though. So it's a small mercy that it was an unpopular loner like Mariko who died instead. Ooh, it's also a little depressing though.
How dare!
How freaking dare you? I've had enough of your screwed up logic.
Takemaru!
There's not a single one of us here who's not important. Every single one of these guys is my best friend. You ever try ranking them again, I'll beat the crap out of you. I guess I shouldn't tell Takemaru that I'm planning on doing a tier list of all these characters at the end of the game. Yeah. Well, aren't you cool? The dramatic speech sounded pretty tough, but is that really how you should be speaking to your commanding officer? You threatening me?
Come on, cut it out, you two. No, keep going. Punch him in the face. I want you both to win. I'm about to lose.
Don't encourage them. I've been thinking for a while now that your attitude needed addressing, Yakashiji. You need to remember your place here. What? You gonna set off my bomb? Go ahead, do it, I dare you.
What a horrible racket. I'm back, everyone. Ava should be ready to go by tomorrow. Huh?
You dare me?
I don't know why. This is kind of goofy looking. Got Takemaru looking like he's got the biggest head in the world. And Sirei just standing there all nonchalant. What are you gonna do about it, bitch? I got a bomb inside you. Didn't think about that, did you?
Because even if I blow you up, I'll just revive you anyway. Your bravado rings hollow if you presume that someone's going to be wiping your butt like a baby in the end. Who you calling a baby?
Why is Sirei doing this, though? That doesn't make any sense.
I know you can change the settings on that machine so I don't get revived. So yeah, I know I might actually die. And I don't care. If you keep trashing my bro Gaku, then you better go ahead and kill me.
What is going on here? Please stop fighting. It's bad and unproductive.
Having just entered the cafeteria, Nigo left between Sirei and Takemaru to try to break them up.
No more fighting!
Shut up! Takemaru slapped Nigo away, never taking his eyes off Sirei.
Go!
Oh. Ow.
Uh-oh.
That sounded pretty bad.
Now you've done it.
What? Just one knock against the wall and Nigo's done? For being the AI programs that are supposed to run these schools, you'd think they would be a little bit sturdier. Are you alright? He turned into a fax machine. He's not going to explode, is he?
Nigo, are you okay?
Nigo!
Huh? Why is everybody so panicked?
Are you okay?
What do you mean? Oh, are you referring to how the universe was started by a single strand of string?
Yeah.
He seems fine. Does he? I'm sorry, Nigo. Takemaru bowed his head low in apology. Can't believe I broke my code of never hitting women or children.
Oh, but I'm not a woman or a child.
What? Really? I just assumed you were one or the other on the inside. And Sirei. My bad. I got a little too worked up. I'm gonna turn in and cool off. I guess I went a little too far as well. Following their lead, the rest of the group regained their composure too. We decided to call it a day there. Alone in my room, I found myself once more haunted by Gaku's last moments. At least with Kurara, I didn't have to see her face. I'm sorry. Same thought kept swirling inside my mind. Even though there was no point to it, it was like I was punishing myself and asking for forgiveness all at once. Before I knew it, it was dark outside. Despite not eating anything since morning, I didn't feel hungry at all. Still, staying here in my room and wallowing in guilt won't do me any good. I guess I'll go get some fresh air. I leaned against the roof rail and took in the cool breeze. I felt my weary heart becoming a little lighter. I'm Takumi Sumino, leader of the Special Defense Unit. I can't be wallowing in the past.
Huh? Takumi?
Nigo.
What brings you here?
Just wanted to get some fresh air. How about you?
Why, I came to see you. I wanted to talk to you about something.
About what?
Well,
Nigo looked around as if he was making sure the coast was clear before continuing.
first of all, I'm not Nigo.
What? Huh?
I'm a completely different AI, just borrowing Nigo's body.
What? What? Okay? What? Are you okay? That blow to the head earlier might have been worse than I thought.
Please, I'm being serious.
Okay, I'm listening. Whether he's of sound mind or not, I should at least hear him out. You say you're not Nigo, you're some different AI. Please explain it to me in a way that I can understand.
Thank you. I'll do my best. To put it plainly, I represent the anti-Exodus faction.
Oh, so there are some people that are against the Exodus project. So again, my idea that maybe Eito's memories were implanted and tampered with by somebody might still hold some water. Maybe this is somebody who's trying to ruin our whole plan. Interesting. See where this goes.
You and your friends don't need to fight anymore. Our objective is to send you all to the artificial satellite as soon as possible.
Really? We're just gonna end it there? Oh, okay. We're going into the room. I don't want anyone overhearing this. We should go somewhere more private. I managed to convince the pseudo-Nigo to continue our conversation back in my room.
First of all, you may call me Goto. It'll get confusing if you keep calling me Nigo.
Goto.
It's an acronym for the foundational principles programmed into my AI that I've long since forgotten. God of something, I think.
God of the old home? God of the other humans? God of totally outrageous hotties. I don't know. I'm gonna stop guessing.
We can skip that part. The important thing is that I'm an AI created by the anti-Exodus faction.
And can I assume that the anti-Exodus faction is what the name implies?
Yes, you can. The anti-Exodus faction stands against the Exodus project. We hold opposite ideals to Sirei and Nigo.
Of course, we don't know that the Exodus project was to get humans to move to a different planet, though. I wonder if he's going to explain all that to me here.
The people on the artificial satellite aren't all unified. Some support the Exodus project, while others oppose it. They say we don't need to prolong our lives or find prosperity, and that we should instead accept our fate and perish.
Perish? Is humanity in danger if they continue to live on the satellite?
Yes, just as planets have lifespans, so does the artificial satellite. The Exodus project came about because some feared the satellite could not support humanity for much longer. Some estimate it will only last another 200 years.
200 years?
Whether that's a long time or not is all a matter of perspective. The faction I represent thinks that we should simply accept our fate. That surviving is not a future worth sending such young ones to fight for.
What he's saying makes sense so far.
I was hidden inside Nego in order to realize the anti-Exodus faction's goals. My mission was to take over Nego's body when the time was right and try to persuade you all.
When the time was right, what makes now the best time to do it?
I'm ashamed to admit that I was supposed to take over this body much earlier. However, Nego's internal security system was much stronger than anticipated. At one point, I never thought I'd be able to take over. And it seems I wasn't successful the previous 100-day iteration. But there was a moment yesterday when Nego's CPU experienced a large amount of stress.
Oh. Must have been when Takemaru whacked him.
I seized the opportunity and took over his body.
I see.
So please, there's no need to support this barbaric Exodus project. Stop fighting the invaders and come back to the artificial satellite with me.
That's easier said than done. Well, I heard him out at least. There's still a possibility this is just Nego bugging out from hitting his head. How are we supposed to get back to the artificial satellite anyway?
We have an escape pod ready at second to last Defense Academy. It was put there in secret, just like I was hidden away inside Nego. If you use that, you won't even have to wait for day 100 to leave for the satellite.
Huh. I guess this is all in the realm of possibility.
Right? So why not just escape and say goodbye to all this fighting? It's an easy decision, isn't it?
I can't do that, because I have a reason to fight. This time I'm going to protect her to the end. That's what I'd promised myself. Wait, hold on a minute. If I can go back to the artificial satellite with the Zombie, then I don't really have a reason to fight. But that's not the issue here. If by fighting we can ensure the success of the Exodus project, if there's a chance we can fulfill humanity's wishes, then I want to see it through.
How admirable! But you don't need to support the pro faction. You've just been brainwashed by them and forced to fight. You're not fighting of your own volition.
What? Brainwashed? Hold on, what are you talking about?
Well, here's an example. Gaku Mariko, who died yesterday, came from a group home, an orphanage if you will. He had complicated feelings about his upbringing, but he loved his foster siblings. He fought so he could see them again.
So what?
What if I told you that his memory of his family were tampered with through brainwashing to be better than they were? What if that family was actually just a bunch of low-life scumbags? And he was only brainwashed into thinking that he wanted to see them again.
What?
The Pro faction successfully conducted research on memory manipulation at Kamakura General Hospital. That technology they created was installed in the school. I think you may have an idea of what I'm talking about here.
The special treatment I conducted on her is known as Dolmenic Cognitive Reconstruction Therapy. By tinkering with her brainwave frequencies, I can control her memories, thoughts, and emotions.
Memories and thoughts, that's...
You brainwashed her then. Brainwashed. If you want to put it in terms so simplistic a monkey could understand, then yes. Any memories relating to being an invader have been erased and replaced with a profound hatred for their entire species. Even I'm surprised at just how empty a shell this has left her, though. I guess I got a little carried away. Teehee.
Teehee, my ass! If you remove that many memories, of course it's going to mess her up.
There's no guarantee that we didn't receive the same treatment as her. Does that mean everything that Goto's told me has been the truth? Wait, this is weird. For some reason my thoughts are getting fuzzy. I shouldn't think about this anymore. I shouldn't ever doubt Sirei.
Takumi, are you okay?
My brain's feeling a little fuzzy.
You poor thing, that's the brainwashing. In addition to implanting a reason for you to fight, you've been brainwashed into fully submitting to Sirei's control.
What are you talking about? Sirei would never do something as barbaric as brainwashing us.
That's precisely what he'd do. Although I suppose there's no point in trying to convince you in your current state. But I have this for you.
Goto took out a red pill. Oh my gosh, if I take this, am I going to escape the Matrix?
No, you were in the Matrix before.
Wait, what?
Whenever you were living your lives, that's where you were, in the simulation of sorts.
Oh, so what's this going to do?
Oh, it's just gonna make you trip balls.
Oh, okay. Sounds fun.
This pill can neutralize the effect of the latest brainwashing you underwent. If you have any suspicion that you're not your true self at this moment, take this. Could be the only way for you to regain your free will and defy the powers that be.
See, they brainwashed me? There's no way that's possible. I might be able to prove it by taking this pill. My feelings towards Sirei don't change after taking the pill. That would prove I was never brainwashed. Oh, do I red pill or not? Well, I think this is an easy choice. So this is another one of those decisions though where I look at it and I go, this seems easy, right? You just take the red pill because I already know Sirei has been brainwashing us. But at the same time, what unintended consequences is it going to have? So I will say one thing that I'm kind of curious about before I pick this is if I do pick don't, is that just going to lead to a quick ending? So part of me that wants to pick it and see if it does, because then I could just knock out the first of what will probably be a few different endings on this route. But nah, I mean, I'm going to go with my gut with all of these choices that I make. So my gut is saying take it. I take it, nothing happens, Sirei walks in. Aha, I knew you didn't trust me, Samino, and then blows me up. I'll take the pill. I took the pill from Goto and put it in my mouth. Gulp.
So?
Well, I think my stomach feels a little warm, but that's it.
That's not what I mean. Has your head stopped feeling fuzzy now?
Oh, it has. I actually feel a little sharper than before.
You see, you were brainwashed by Sirei to further the Pro-Exodus Project faction's cause. Brainwashed, deceived, and manipulated to fight. How do you feel about that statement?
Sounds pretty accurate to me.
Good.
While I was glad it had been undone, I suddenly got scared. Because this meant I really had been brainwashed. I really had been tricked into fighting, just like Goto said.
Oh, but don't get the wrong idea. This doesn't mean your brainwashing has been completely reversed.
What do you mean?
I told you that the pill just lessens the effects of your latest brainwashing. You've received brainwashing prior to this. The pill only undid the brainwashing that forced you to be loyal to Sirei. Your original brainwashing is probably still in effect.
You mean the one that created a reason for me to fight?
Yes, the same one that I explained was given to Gaku. Like making you feel that the family you hated was actually important to you, for example. The reasons all of you were given to fight were twisted by brainwashing. And you're still under that influence. The reasons you believe you have to fight were all put inside your head by the pro-faction.
So just like Gaku, the reason I fight? Is it possible she's not actually important to me after all? I've just been made to believe that she is, and that I want to fight for her?
I can give you more details about your brainwashing if you want. You were all brainwashed as soon as you were brought here using the device in the infirmary. The students from the second campus received theirs when they arrived here. That campus has its own separate brainwashing device. So it's not as if I directly witnessed all of you getting brainwashed here on the first campus. But I have already checked the logs of the device in your infirmary. Would you like to hear the details about the brainwashing they gave you?
I think I'll pass. Because if what he says is true, then the reason I fight... If he tells me what I think he's going to tell me, there's a chance I'll shut down completely. I won't be able to fight, or run, or even stand anymore.
I suppose avoiding the truth is a valid option as well. But your fears suggest that you believe what I'm telling you. Does that mean you'll join me and support the anti-Exodus faction's cause?
What should I do? Should I work with Goto and the anti-faction? No. Second decision. You know what? Sure. Why not? Not gonna think too hard about this one just because I am curious. I want to believe that there are some humans up there that are not total douchebags, you know? Yes, I'm in. I believe you when you say we've also been brainwashed into fighting by Sirei.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
But what can I do to help? Just go back to the artificial satellite and the escape pod at second campus like you asked? Is there anything else I can do?
Yes, there is. That's why I approached you first. what I want to ask you to do is persuade everyone else.
Persuade them.
Yes, I want you to tell the others the truth, just like I did with you. That you've all been brainwashed to fight, that you don't need to fight anymore, that you should all escape together instead.
Alright, I don't mind doing that, but why me? Why don't you just talk to them yourself like you did with me? It'll probably be more believable coming from you anyway.
No, that would be too risky. I can't keep sneaking around Sirei's back. If I do, he might notice that there's something wrong with Nigo and figure out my secret. There's also something else I need to do in the meantime.
What's that?
You remember I told you there's an escape pod at the other academy? It will need some fixing up before it's usable. So if you can work on getting the others on board while I'm working on that, then we wouldn't lose any time. An efficient little solution, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Thank you. Anyway, here's something to help you persuade them.
Goto handed me some more red pills. And with them a whole stack of red envelopes. Are these the same as the pill I just took?
Yes, give them to anyone who you think could have received the same more recent brainwashing as you did.
Okay, and what about these envelopes?
You're open-minded, so you believed me. But that won't necessarily be the case with everyone else. If anyone is skeptical, you can hand them the envelope instead. Each one contains background intel about the Special Defense Unit, along with hints about the brainwashing-induced reasons to fight.
Just hints? Why not the full details?
You're really asking me when you're too scared to ask me the details about your case?
Hey!
Okay, point taken. Anything too specific could be overwhelming. I suppose there's kindness in holding back.
Just so you know, there are 12 envelopes. One for each survivor, excluding Ava. I put yours in there too if you ever want to learn the full truth about your own brainwashing.
Thanks, but I doubt I'll have it in me to open it before I get back to the satellite.
Anyway, we'll be launching the escape pod in 3 days. Please get everyone on board by then.
Okay, but... What?
Good heavens, what was that for?
Did you just say 3 days?
I know it's rather sudden, but that's as long as I can stay in control of Nigo's body. Past that, it's back to square one, and you'll lose your chance to escape to the artificial satellite. So 3 days is all I can give you, but you can do it. I believe in you.
What if I can't persuade them all in 3 days?
Then you'll be heading back to the satellite with only the members you successfully persuaded. And if you can't convince anyone, you'll be going alone. You wouldn't want that, would ya?
No, I wouldn't.
I'm sure you already know, but Sirei cannot find out about this. Not about my existence, or the fact that you're going around trying to persuade people to leave. He's the embodiment of the pro-faction, if he catches us. Just imagining it gives me chills.
So I need to persuade everyone in 3 days without Sirei finding out. That sounds impossible. There's no way I'm going back alone and leaving everyone else behind. Sounds like I'm just going to have to make the impossible possible. Yes! Again, Kaito Momota. He's the one who I can look to in these times. Well, time to try to convince everybody to leave. The Exodus Project. The pro and anti-factions. Sirei, Goto. The brainwashing, our reasons for fighting, our right to run away. There's a lot to think about. But I didn't have the time. Goto said yesterday that the escape pod from Second to Last Defense Academy will launch in 3 days. That's the day after tomorrow. There's no time to change paths or look for other options. I have to stay on the one I decided was right for me. But who do I start with? It can't just be anyone. There's a definite possibility that this decision will make or break this whole plan. I need to choose carefully. The person most likely to hear me out is... Oh, goodness, so many decisions. Well, likely be Hideko, right? Since she was also brainwashed recently, I think. Maybe I should talk to Hideko first.
You're acting a little strange lately, you know that.
Huh? Strange how?
If you haven't noticed anything, then forget it. I'll take care of this myself.
Hideko had been concerned about me before. Come to think of it, perhaps she'd already realized there was a chance I'd been brainwashed. And that's not all. You said your suspicions grew after what Sirei said about brainwashing, right? You mean about me, right? You've been saying something's off about me. Tell me, please. What was that about? Why did you think something was off about me?
Oh, that.
Oh.
I'm sorry about that. I was imagining things.
Maybe Hirako's under the same kind of brainwashing as me. Some kind of secondary brainwashing. That would explain why she suddenly took back what she said about me seeming strange and stopped suspecting Sirei. In that case, I'd better hurry and get her to take the pill. She's just gonna be like,
What are you talking about? I'm not brainwashed.
and then stab me. Also, this is her first time in her room. This is a little dark.
What is it you want to talk about so badly? You're creeping me out.
Please, just stay cool and hear me out. We don't have to fight anymore. We can just run away.
You're not gonna start singing, are you?
No, I need to honor Gaku's memory, not sing anymore while he's gone.
If you're not joking, then can I safely assume that you finally lost your mind?
I'm not joking, and I'm not crazy.
A crazy person wouldn't be aware that they lost their mind anyway.
Please, just hear me out. I looked Hirako directly in the eyes. She in turn glared directly back at me.
Fine, let's hear it.
I relayed everything Goto had told me the day before. She noted that her head was in a daze just like mine was, so I had her take the pill. Once she did, her mind seemed to become clearer.
It seems I have no choice but to believe you.
That said, she still appeared reluctant to accept all of it. The anti-Exodus faction, our brainwashing to give us a reason to fight, the secondary brainwashing to make us obedient to Sirei, and the escape pod at second to last Defense Academy. One by one, Hirako came to terms with all these assorted details. And lastly, here. No need to force yourself to read it, I'm just giving you the option.
Did you look at the clue about your brainwashing in your envelope?
Nah, I got cold feet, and I figured it wasn't really necessary.
You pathetic coward, is what I'd like to say, but I'm not looking at mine either, for roughly the same reason.
With that, Hirako tossed the envelope she just received onto her desk.
We should start discussing what we're going to do from here. But would you give me a moment alone first?
Sure, but why?
There's something I need to think about. It shouldn't take long. Go wait for me in your room.
Okay. Perhaps Hirako asked for the moment to think so she could briefly let out her tears. Or maybe she actually did want to see the envelope's contents, but without me there. Whichever the case may be, I did as she asked and headed back to my room. I swear if she goes to Sirei and just turns me in, I'm gonna be pissed. Not even 10 minutes had passed before I heard my doorbell ring. It's open. She did go to Sirei, didn't she? Or did he just suspect something because he saw me go to her room? I feel like she did go to Sirei, though. Hey there, Samino. I just wanted to check how you're doing. What are you doing here? Oh, you know perfectly well. Why play dumb now? Fine, if you're gonna force me to say it. You were sold out. Sold out? Who would do that? No, I suppose it goes without saying. Hirako. She must have been pretending to believe me and asked for time to think so she could report me to Sirei. It wouldn't have been too hard for her to pretend to swallow the red pill to trick me either. Damn it. I want a do-over. Well, that's some bullshit. Conspiracy route plans exposed. Yeah, that kind of sucks, to be honest. I mean, Hirako made the most sense. It seemed like she had been brainwashed. Oh well, I guess we'll do Kurara then. Alright, well, disappointing because I really like Hirako as a character. She seems to be very intelligent, so I figured she would be able to piece some of this together and piece together that we had been brainwashed. But then again, she has also easily been manipulated in the past, so maybe I'm giving her a bit too much credit at times. That's disappointing, but alright, Kurara. Maybe I should go to Kurara first. She seemed pretty down when I spoke to her yesterday. It's not like her to show her true feelings like that.
Why am I the one who's still alive? Kurara. I should have been the one who died.
We don't need to fight anymore. I'll bet Kurara wants to hear those words more than anything else right now. In her state, she's bound to accept all this craziness about the anti-Exodus faction and the brainwashing pretty much at face value. A twinge of guilt crept into my heart, but my personal feelings were of no concern at that moment.
What do you need to talk about so badly that you come to my room uninvited? If it's some mundane dribble, I'll tear the skin right off your face.
Starting off on a strong note, I see. More important than that, though, I have to come right out and tell her. Kurara, we don't have to fight anymore. We can just run away.
Huh? If this is a joke, it's even more lame than I'd expect from you.
I'm serious.
What? And that's supposed to make me believe you?
Please, just hear me out. I looked Kurara directly in the eyes. She in turn glared directly back at me. Wow, this is playing out exactly like the Hideko route.
Tell me everything.
And so I did. I relayed everything Goto had told me the day before. Kurara didn't exhibit any of the day's sensation that I'd felt. It appeared that her brainwashing was only to instill her reason for fighting. Once she finished listening to my explanation, she spoke in a low murmur.
It all sounds pretty far-fetched.
Yeah, I know, but I believe it. I want you to believe it too if you can. I want you to trust me, so we can go back to the artificial satellite together.
But you must understand. As a proud daughter of the Usuzuki clan, I could never run away no matter the... No, it can't be.
Kurara's expression clouded over mid-sentence as if she'd just realized something. That apprehension seemed to stoke my own feelings of guilt, but I pressed ahead all the same. If your pride as a new Suzuki is what's making you fight, then maybe that's part of the brainwashing they did to you. The real Usuzukis might not be the prominent family that Kurara believed them to be. Or they might just not exist. Or maybe she wasn't even part of the Usuzuki family at all. If her obligation to her family was the foundation of what motivated her to keep fighting, any of that was possible. Here, in case you need it. I was told it contains a clue about your brainwashing.
A clue?
Yeah, they said a straight explanation would be too shocking.
All right, I'll take a look. Hand it over.
Kurara snatched the envelope from my hand. You're gonna open it?
Of course. Naturally, I'm scared, but I would be simply miserable living with the possibility of that which I hold dear being fake. I can't have that haunting me forever. If what's in here can dispel that misery, that's a chance I'll have to take.
You're one tough girl.
Of course. I am a new Suzuki after all. Wait, shit. I will be until I open this envelope anyway.
With that sharp remark, Kurara opened the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper which she cast her eyes over intently. What's it say?
It's about my father. It says he died 5 years ago. Sure enough, I have no memory of this. I had no idea he was dead. In fact, I remember him being in fine health right before I came to this school.
So your brainwashing was to make you forget about your father's passing?
Yes, if I'm to trust this note, that seems to be the case. But more than that, my father Kurama Usuzuki was head of the Usuzuki clan. If he's dead, then the family is no more. I think we could say that my brainwashing was actually about the state of Usuzuki family itself. The one thing that's kept me fighting up to this point has been my pride as an Usuzuki. And according to this note, all of that was a lie. My father's been dead for 5 years, and I forgot about the fall of the Usuzuki family. No, I was made to forget.
About that envelope. Was there anything else in there besides the stuff about your father's passing?
Well, this piece of paper here is a copy of his death certificate. The cause of his death was cancer, plain and simple.
I see.
This is a bit too disheartening, isn't it? I imagine the clue would be a little less hard-hitting than something like this. Those anti-Exodus simpletons are painfully straightforward. Their lack of consideration is rather off-putting.
I agree.
Naturally, this doesn't mean that I can't accept the sheet as the absolute truth. This Goto you told me about could be making it all up. He could be deceiving you and in turn deceiving me as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. There's no proof as to whether this brainwashing stuff is true or not. It's really just a matter of choosing who to trust.
I suppose so. Yes, I understand. That's why. That's why I'm choosing to trust you, Takumi.
You are?
I don't like it, but it seems there's some credibility to what you've told me. If there's a chance we can go home without fighting, I want you to hold on to it. I just feel a kind of regret holding me back. If I believe you and we choose to stop fighting and run away, then the others who died, what was the point of their sacrifice? Their deaths will have been in vain, won't they?
Damn, This route has so many choices. Were our deaths in vain? Yes or no? Or, well, ... or no. I feel like ... will just give me a quick ending. I get the sense that I need to stand firm in this. Like, no, they're not going to be in vain because their deaths got us to this point, right? So, no. They weren't in vain.
Huh? What do you mean? I mean, you're alive because
This sounds like it should be what I'm saying. Is she saying this as if this is what Takumi means?
I mean, you're alive because Gaku died, aren't you? So because I'm alive, Gaku's death wasn't in vain? The only purpose for his life was to keep me alive, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean? What train of thought derailed you into thinking you could tell me their deaths were anything more than senseless tragedies? If you're just saying whatever you think sounds right to fit the mood, I'll end you here and now.
I'm sorry. That wasn't very considerate of me. But even if my logic doesn't hold up, I still don't want to admit that their deaths were pointless. I don't want them to have died in vain.
I feel the same way. I don't want them to have died in vain. That's why I've decided to keep fighting.
Huh?
That's the only way I can truly honor their memories. All this talk about their sacrifice allowing us to sneak away to the artificial satellite. About how their spirits live on with us. No matter what, I refuse to talk myself into that kind of self-deception. I'll fight, and I'll win! I'll get through these 100 days, then and only then will I be able to finally say that their deaths weren't in vain. And when I die, I'll be able to look them in the eyes in the afterlife.
But...
No ifs, ands, or buts about it!
Well, I guess I chose the wrong answer to continue this route. I chose the get knocked out by Kurara route.
You don't want their lives to have been wasted either, do you, Takumi? Then firm up your resolve and get your ass in gear. Stop spewing this hypocrisy. If you really want their deaths to mean something, running away from our responsibilities is the last thing you should be thinking of. Let's fight. Let's win this war. Let's hold on to what we can.
You're right. I'd failed to persuade Kurara, yet somehow it seemed like this wasn't the wrong choice. Felt like we were on the right path after all. Oh. Huh?
Dear me, you do have a way with words, don't you?
You know, it's funny, I didn't even bother to look and see who was holding the taser. I just assumed Sirei was the one that did it. So Koto is just like sitting there listening, and if I fail, this is what happens, huh?
But if you're not able to translate them into positive action, they'll never be anything more.
Aren't you supposed to be at the other academy? Conspiracy route, empty words. It's funny because I didn't think they were empty words. I was legitimately saying I don't think their deaths were in vain because, you know, if they hadn't died, we wouldn't be where we were. But okay, whatever. All right, yep, our friends' deaths were in vain, Kurara. We have to live with that. They weren't in vain. If I had put the sentiment into words, I could have phrased it that way. It was only because of our friend's sacrifice that we could now escape. In that sense, their deaths definitely had meaning. Or something to that effect. See, that's how my mindset was. But saying that would be insincere, dishonest. Alright, well then, Takumi. You don't have to call me out like that. They didn't die so that we could be free. They fought to win and died fighting. In a war they were tricked into joining at that. I couldn't find any significance in their death. In a sense, their deaths were nothing but the unfortunate result of their being manipulated. That was a much more cold-hearted way of putting it, but it was closer to how I really felt about it.
Don't just stand there with that dopey look on your face. Say something.
Sorry.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give me some half-assed positivity at least.
What do you mean?
Part of me wanted to cling on to anything that would gloss over this whole situation. If you had said something carelessly optimistic, it would have been way too tempting to get on board with it. But your silence just now let me know it's okay to feel this despair. I'm glad.
I see.
Can you give me 30 minutes to myself?
Sure, but why?
Take a wild guess. I don't want you to see me cry. I'm going to think about how my father is probably dead, and the Osuzuki clan with him. And I'll also think about our friend's meaningless deaths while I'm at it.
Right.
When I'm done crying, I'll place my trust in you. and we can start thinking about what we can do from here on. I just need a little time.
I understand. Thanks. I waited for Kurara in my room. Her father's gone and her friends died in vain. It's all so horrible that no one would want to believe it, but in spite of all that, she still chose to trust me. She really is one tough girl. Just as the 30 minutes were up, Kurara arrived in my room.
Pardon the wait.
Are you okay?
Of course. Who do you take me for? Though I guess I should probably drop the smug act from here on out. Now that my father's dead, the proud Usuzuki name has died with him.
Wait, what? No, but that's all you got going for you, Kurara. You being smug and an asshole to everybody. Without that, I mean, might actually seem likable. I think you can keep it up if you want. Even if the Usuzuki family is no more, you're still the same proud Kurara Usuzuki as before. What?
Nothing. I was simply impressed you were able to offer a few half-decent words of encouragement. I braced myself for you to rub salt in my wounds with some insincere inanities.
Inanities, I think. Don't talk as if I were that kind of psychopath.
Anyway, let's think about what we're going to do from here. The escape pod takes off in 2 days, yes? We need to persuade the others to join us without Sirei catching on before then. The more I think about it, the more this seems like a game that's impossible to win.
Yeah, I hear that. I've already chosen wrong twice now. There's just not enough time. And keeping things out of Sirei's notice is a tall order too.
If we fail to persuade even one of them, they'll probably go right to Sirei and tell him what we're up to. Should we just give up?
Say what?
I'm kidding. Well, half kidding. There's a notable disparity between our goals and the obstacles in our way. Even without Sirei keeping an eye on us, 2 days would be a tight window to convince everyone. To start with, we'll need to do something about Sirei.
What kind of something?
Who knows? The only thing that comes to mind is smashing him to pieces.
Huh?
Huh?
Smash him to pieces. It's not an option, right?
I suppose so. Yes, that might work. At first I thought it would be too dangerous, not to mention against the rules, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And Sirei's rules are a bunch of hogwash anyway.
If we destroy him before we persuade the others, we won't need to worry about anyone blowing our cover if we fail to convince them. We can even bring anyone we don't convince to the artificial satellite by force if we have to.
It's more than satisfactory. So what do? The clock's ticking. We need to act fast. I'm more than fine with taking him out, but I'll leave the final choice to you.
Well, in that case... Oh my god. Another one? How many endings am I about to get here on this one timeline? Jeez. My gut is telling me yes, I need to destroy him, which means this is probably the correct answer. So I'm going to go with yes, so I can see the shorter ending first. Alright, let's destroy Sirei. I don't think we have any other option.
Fine by me. It's just the kind of shake-up this place could use. But destroying him won't be a simple matter. Maybe we should take a page out of that lunatic Ato's book. If I recall correctly, he actually managed it in your last timeline, didn't he? He asked to speak with Sirei alone while the rest of us were sleeping, under the guise of learning how to use Hemoanima. And once he did transform, he immediately used his class weapon to destroy Sirei.
Yeah, and he pulled it off in my previous 100 days. Sirei did blow Ato up when he made his move, but the Revive-O-Matic brought him right back to life. He showed up afterwards feigning ignorance about the whole incident.
Of course, we'll need to come up with some sort of setup. We'll only get one shot at this.
The problem is, what should that setup be? Sirei is going to be much more cautious of us calling on him now than he was back when Ato did. Who is it?
It's me, Nigo. There's something I'd like to talk with you about. May I come in?
He said Nigo, but should we assume it's really Goto? Nigo can't have come back somehow, can he? What color's the envelope?
Oh, what's this now? Some manner of password? Some well-known song lyrics, perhaps?
A chill ran down my spine. For whatever reason, Nigo's original personality seemed to have reasserted itself.
Sorry, just my little joke.
Huh?
The envelope is red, and so is the pill.
Hey!
So not funny.
Well then, pardon the intrusion. Oh, Kurara Usuzuki, does this mean?
Yeah, I want her over to our side. Don't pretend like you weren't listening in. You zapped us in the other timeline where she convinced me not to leave. We were just planning how we were going to persuade the others to get on board as well.
So, you're Goto. So it's your fault that my brain is at its boiling point right now. Oh my, sorry. I know all too well that I'm asking the impossible.
Let's put that aside. You had something you wanted to talk about.
Actually, I only mentioned that as an excuse to come visit you as Nigo. It's entirely possible that someone could have seen me come here after all. What I really wanted was to come and check on how your efforts were going. I assume Kurara is the only one you managed to persuade so far.
Yeah, so far at least. But what are you doing here? You said you'd be at Second to Last Defense Academy running maintenance on the escape pod. That should be plenty to keep you busy. Can't you leave the persuading to me? Or is the maintenance finished already?
Oh, I must not have told you. The escape pod maintenance is all performed remotely. So I'll be here at the school the whole time until departure. By the way, I'm doing maintenance at this very moment. I'll most certainly have to work up until the very last minute to get it done.
Huh, okay.
Back to the subject of persuading everyone. Do you think you can do it in a day or two?
No, at least not if we do everything above board.
Above board?
Yeah, so we figured destroying Sirei might make the job more feasible.
You'll destroy him?
Convincing everyone without him noticing will be difficult. No, frankly, it'll be straight up impossible. That being the case, we thought it might be best to take Sirei out of the equation first.
I see, so that's your move. It's such a clever strategy. I'm not sure why I didn't think of it before. Oh hey, I just thought of something brilliant.
Huh?
Something brilliant? To destroy Sirei, we'll need to call him to someplace that's deserted at that time. And you're the perfect lump of metal for the job. You can do it for us, Goto. If you tell him there's an emergency sometime after lights out and ask him to come with you, we'll be able to trap him without any fear of raising suspicion.
That's not a bad idea. Kurara's plan certainly sounded like the most natural approach. Will you do it?
Of course. That should really be me taking care of everything, so I'll do whatever I can to help. I swear by the name of the Anti-Exodus faction, I'll make this operation a success.
That night, I felt strangely conflicted. I was extremely anxious about our plan, yet it didn't feel real. We were actually going to destroy Sirei. We'd figured out the plan step by step. Goto pretending to be Nigo would soon lead Sirei here. He'd tell him that something crazy had happened in the cafeteria and to come quickly. When he got here, I would be waiting for him. I'd be in my class armor and ready to attack. Kurara would be on standby in an empty classroom nearby, ready to deal with any unforeseen developments. Goto would give the signal to attack. Being the closest to Sirei, it would be easiest for him to gauge when he let his guard down. It seemed like the perfect plan. Other than the fact that I didn't really want to destroy Sirei. But I'd have to set those feelings aside. The door opened. So what the heck's going on in here? You said there was some emergency in the cafeteria.
Oh yes, sir. We have to deal with it this very minute, or it will get completely out of hand.
Really? Because I don't see anything here to deal with. Are you sure you didn't just hear some bugs skittering around, or something equally pointless? Suddenly Goto looked my way. His eyes met mine from my hiding place in the shadows. Now go. And on Goto's mark. I cannot believe they're giving me another chance to decide here. Well, I've come this far. Might as well commit to it. Kill him. I'm sorry. What the? Shit. I wondered if it was like this for Eito as well. It was incredibly easy cutting Sirei in half, but in the next instant, a mechanical sound rang out from my chest. I blacked out on the spot alongside a fit of intense pain.
Come on! Just how long are you going to sleep? Get up already!
I woke up to Kurara's voice and slowly realized that I was back in my room. Did it work?
It sure did. You did splendidly. You split Sirei clean in two. Then he activated the bomb in your chest and blew you into bits. The drone carried the pieces to the infirmary, and once you reassemble it, I brought you back here. You spent the night out cold, and now here we are. I've already cleaned up the mess that your blood and Sirei's remains left behind, of course.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
But the next step is going to be crucial. Do you remember our plan for today?
Yeah. We were going to meet up with the rest of the team in the cafeteria and try to persuade them to join us. Now that Sirei was out of the picture, there wasn't any need to sneak around and talk to them one by one.
I already told the others to meet us in the cafeteria at noon. It's almost that time now. We should get going.
I just had to hope it would all work out. And yet, that hope was a frightfully cold and detached one. When Kurara and I arrived at the cafeteria, everyone except Sirei, Goto, and Eito was there. What the hell, you two? You've got some balls calling us all here and then showing up last. Sorry.
Never mind that. Just hurry up and tell us what you wanted to talk to us about.
Judging from that timid expression of yours, Mr. Sumino, it's something serious.
Not to mention that it's so rare for you to be the one to reach out to us, Kurara. Right? I could understand if it was Takumi making the call. I simply took a little interest in how my slaves are doing, nothing more.
Who are you calling slaves?
Oh wait, where are Sirei and Nigo? You must have called them here too, right? Nigo is busy with another task, so he's been excused. As for Sirei...
Kurara glanced my way. I took that as my signal to speak. Sirei's not coming. Or rather, he can't.
He can't.
Is he out on an excursion somewhere? I answered honestly. Last night, I tricked Sirei into meeting me and destroyed him. Just like Eito did in my previous timeline. Say what? You destroyed him? I understand it must be hard to believe, but it's the truth.
If you like, I can show you his remains later.
And you? Are you an accomplice to this, Kurara?
Well, wait, hold on. What do you mean you destroyed him? Takemi, Kurara, have you gone crazy? Are you like Eito now? You must have had some reason, right?
Well, I told everyone the events of the past 3 days, not holding anything back. Only Hiriko noted that her head was in a daze like mine had been. When I offered her one of the pills, she took it without hesitation. And lastly, here. Each member of the team had their own brainwashing concerning their reasons for fighting. I handed them all the envelopes with the clues about those reasons. All except Ava, of course. We already knew all about her brainwashing after all. Everyone else reacted to the envelopes in different ways.
I don't think I'll look at mine. I'll pass as well.
I ain't looking either. Feels like it won't be me anymore if I do. Some chose not to look at their envelopes, same as me.
No, it can't be true.
We needn't read more, Kako. But this can't be. It has to be a lie. That's right. I mean, no matter how awful of an existence mine is guaranteed to be, this can't be part of it. Some opened their envelopes and were shocked at the contents.
I just don't know what to think of this. It's so shocking. It actually makes me feel less queasy.
To think there'd come a day when my soul would be denied like this.
This isn't a work shoot, is it?
And there were those who opened the envelope, but were at a loss for how unreal it seemed. Each had their own reactions, but they were all equally confused. I'm sure you all have different thoughts on this. Some of you might not even accept it, but I'm asking you to trust me. I want you to believe what I'm telling you, so we can all escape together. The tense silence held like a sheet of thin ice.
Sorry, but...
Nozomi began to speak, softly treading upon that thin ice and forming the first cracks.
I'm still only half convinced. It sounds so impossible that my reason for fighting was implanted in my mind. I still think it's worth believing in. The only way things can make sense is if I trust what I know is real. Even so, even if my reason for fighting is a lie, I don't know if that means I should give up. If we give up now, wouldn't everything we've done here become totally meaningless? The fear, the bravery, the battles, how we've learned to care for one another. The sadness at losing our friends. Nozomi! I don't want all that to be in vain. I can't bear to think there was no point to our time here.
It was the same as when I'd persuaded Kurara. Not wanting all our fighting to be pointless, not wanting to think all that we'd suffered through had been for nothing. I understood Nozomi's feelings painfully well, but because I understood, I knew exactly what to say. Everything we did... well? I don't know how many choices I've made in this one video, but I mean, he said he knew exactly what to say, so I feel like going ... is like not knowing what to say. I'm gonna say it was pointless, and that's why we should leave, because we're fighting a pointless war for reasons that have been implanted in us. That's right. It was all pointless.
But that's... whether or not it meant anything is something only we can decide.
Well, in that case, I don't want it to mean anything.
My life, our lives, aren't lived for the sake of giving meaning to the past. It may be sad, and even unbearable at times, but we should abandon the past for the sake of our future.
This is a terrible sentiment.
When you put it that way.
Still, I won't force you. If any of you don't believe me, or if you still want to stay at this school and fight, that's fine too. Do whatever you feel is right. I went on to share the schedule that Goto had prepared beforehand with everyone. Anyone who wants to escape with me, meet at the parking lot at 7 AM tomorrow. We'll take the school bus to Second to Last Defense Academy. Apparently there's an escape pod there.
I will simply do as I am ordered.
After a few seconds of silence, Ava, the only one among us with a different perspective, spoke up and looked around. No one spoke up after her, but I could tell that not a single one of them wasn't going to show up tomorrow. I didn't have any solid basis for that belief, but I felt it in my gut. The gloomy atmosphere of despair that dominated the cafeteria was all the proof I needed. I was the first to leave the cafeteria and escape to my room. No one spoke up to stop me or wanted to hear more details. I somehow felt extremely exhausted, despite the fact that I did practically nothing and only spoke words that I'd already planned to say. Thwomp. I collapsed onto my bed as if my battery were completely spent. And just as I was about to let my consciousness slip away... Son of a bitch! I was just about to sleep. Who is it?
It's me, Goto. I'm coming in. I heard from Kurara that you were able to thoroughly convince everyone. Thank you truly. I'm glad I could count on you.
How about on your side? Is the escape pod maintenance going to be finished in time? A cliche twist like the pod breaking down just as we're about to take off is something I can do without. Or a cliche twist like you've been lying to me this whole time and that's why you're not at Second to Last Defense Academy because there is no pod over there, so we're just going to go over there and die. That would also be something I could do without.
You needn't worry about that. Leave it all to me. Once you get there, literally all you have to do is push a button to launch. Now we simply have to ride out the rest of the time peacefully until tomorrow. And by the way, about Ava, I'll undo her brainwashing and leave her here on the planet if that's all right with you. Of course, I'll be sure to do it right, so she won't become an issue down the line.
Yeah, that's not a problem. She was originally an enemy, and yet, it wouldn't have felt right leaving her brainwashed like that. There may not have been any reason to bring her to the artificial satellite, but that didn't mean we needed to kill her. Then this really brings it all to the finish line. I'm really relieved. I thought for sure you'd bring up some more stuff I needed to do.
Well, about that,
Oh no, I've got a bad feeling about this.
I do have one more request to ask of you, but I promise this will be the last one.
Let's hear it.
When you get to the artificial satellite, I'll need to apologize to all of you. I'm sure you'll be very angry when you hear what I've done, but I hope you'll allow me to properly apologize all the same.
That depends. What do you want to apologize for?
First and foremost, I should apologize to you personally, Takumi. You see, everything in those red envelopes was a lie.
What? I mean, yeah, I figured. None of our backstories are true, so if there's anything in those envelopes about our backstories, then obviously it was a lie.
For example, the death certificate Kurara found in her envelope? Her father isn't really dead. Well, that is to say he might be dead, but I don't actually know. I made the whole thing up.
Whoa, 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 wait a second. You said you saw the brainwashing logs on the machine in the infirmary.
Yes, I did in fact see them. From what I could analyze, the most recent processes were to make the recipients more obedient to Sirei. That was the nature of what was done to your team. Some of you, at least. And you were brainwashed, that much is certain. The red pill taking effect is proof of that. But everything else I told you before, your reasons for fighting being distorted by the brainwashing, that was all a fabrication. All lies. I created them based on the information I found in your profiles.
Why would you do that?
To give some credibility to what I told you. To drive you all deep into despair so you would want to stop fighting.
I didn't know whether what I was feeling was shock or outrage. A bit of both.
But, on the other hand, everything else I told you was completely true. The memory experiments being conducted at Kamakura General Hospital, and the school being filled with technology based on that research. That's all undeniable fact. I'm sorry for tricking you, I really am, but I did it for your own good.
I did have a thought that since he was talking about our backstories, maybe he was secretly evil or something like that. Because again, we now know, because the other route, our backstories don't exist. And so it felt weird to have somebody be like, ah yes, here's some information about your histories and what's been altered about you. So I thought maybe he would just end up being evil, but this sounds a little bit more plausible, where he knows they were doing the research, he knows that we were brainwashed in some way, but he doesn't know the details of it, so he may not even realize that we're actually clones of Shion, that we're given a backstory of our own. The guilt from lying to me must have really gotten to Goto. He went on, talking more than he ever had before. What choices did I have before me? 1, believe what Goto is saying and forgive him. 2, believe what Goto is saying but don't forgive him. 3, don't believe what Goto is saying. 4, give in to anger and destroy Goto. 5, give up on escaping to the artificial satellite. Other than that. But what did those options matter at this point? It's fine. I'd already come this far. All I could do now is believe and forgive Goto. Okay, good, because I just want to look at this real fast. So since this decision to save Kurara, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decisions already. I was like, I swear if you give me an 8th decision, good lord. Doing that and returning to the artificial satellite was the only way to my choices up to this point would finally pay off. Saying goodbye to the academy one more time, I guess. What the? Where's the bus? Oh, okay. I thought this was all from Takumi's point of view, so when I got to the garage and the bus wasn't there, I thought they had left him behind or something. Oh, that's it? Huh. Conspiracy route lambs to the slaughter. Ugh, that doesn't sound good at all. Because I would assume they're talking about us being lambs led to the slaughter. And I guess, to be fair, whenever we get back to the artificial satellite, they probably will just take care of us, since we left everything behind. But alright, well, let's head back and see all of these different endings. Alright, everything we did, I don't know what to say. I knew that I should tell everyone that it had been pointless, but I couldn't say anything, because I understood how they felt after fighting all this time. On top of that, I didn't want to believe that it was all pointless either.
You're staying quiet because you feel the same way, right, Takumi? You don't really want to accept that your reason for fighting is a lie and give up, do you?
That's not...
No, I know that's it. Otherwise, your face wouldn't look so pained this whole time. You didn't want to expose us to such a painful truth, but it was something you had to tell us all the same. That's why it's hurting you so much, isn't it?
It's not like... I caught the lie before I could finish it. The lie about it not hurting. About doing what I did or didn't want to do. Because, if I was being honest, I didn't want to give up the fight even now.
Whether or not all these days up until now meant anything is something we'd have to decide for ourselves. I think if we want it to mean something, we should keep fighting.
It was only when Nozomi spelled it out like that I first realized the truth. Those were the words I had wanted to say all along. We should keep fighting. We don't have to run away. It felt like a light was finally shining on the path I should walk. I didn't want to give up.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Well, time to blow him up. Just...
I tried so hard to tell you not to fight. Why wouldn't you listen? How unfortunate. I didn't want to be the one doing the killing, but...
What an ending. 21, conspiracy route, liar. Liar, liar, pants for hire. But yeah, so I think what I'm getting out of a lot of these endings, though, is Goto and the Anti-Exodus Project, they are, I guess, maybe a bit better, since it doesn't seem like they want this mission to continue, but they don't care about us. You know, they're basically just there to try to kill us. That's why, essentially, they turned Ato, I'm assuming, into their killing machine by adjusting his memories. Possibly. You know, I was waiting to see if we would get that answer on this route, but considering this is the final ending in this route, I guess probably not. But yeah, it seems like they don't actually like us, but they're still trying to do their best to keep us from continuing on with the mission. So if there's anything that I do that is not conducive to trying to convince everybody, then it seems like Goto's just ready to end me in an instant. Alright, but time to see what happens when we don't destroy Sirei. I'm assuming he's just going to turn around and be like, "Oh hey, Takumi, you must be trying to kill me," and then blow me up. No, I can't do it! Why? I'd committed to this plan, so I had to go through with it. I should have made up my mind a long time ago. But I was frozen, unsure if this was really the right thing to do. Oh ho ho, what are you doing here, Sumino? Damn.
Whoa, wait! You got the wrong idea. We weren't doing anything shady or underhanded. This is, a flash mob. Yes, that's it. Right, a flash mob surprise!
Fine, if that's all it is.
Whoa, saved.
You seriously think I'd buy that?
Why would you try to get the jump on your beloved commanding officer like this?
I'm sorry. The Veshnes music kicking in. Oh, it's hilarious.
I have no idea what's going on here. But it's all too clear you two are in too deep to turn back. In which case, I'll gladly throw myself body and soul into taking you on.
The sharp retort from Sirei was the last thing I remember. From there, my memories... completely and utterly... What the hell? They burned up? Faded clean away. Oh. That'll do it for that ending. Number 20, conspiracy route, faltering resolve. That is the thing, a lot of these endings are going to be quick, but at least some of them are turning out to be kind of funny. Like Goto back there with the bomb, Sirei turning into a boss. That's good. Alright, so I'm assuming that destroying Sirei, or not destroying Sirei, is probably just gonna lead to we go talk to somebody and instantly he's like, "Hey, what are you doing in there?" and then blow us up or something like that. No, I think that's a little too savage.
Nothing can be too savage when it comes to someone who's willing to brainwash people.
I know, but I don't want to give up on the possibility of a more peaceful approach. I just feel like destroying Sirei to stop fighting would come to no good in the end.
You're going to start spouting that soft-hearted drivel now?
Sorry.
That said, it is true that ending things peacefully would be our best option. All right, we'll come up with another solution. Let's give it some more thought.
Nothing occurred to either of us.
We've got nothing.
Just let me give it a little more thought. I still don't want to commit to something as dangerous as destroying Sirei. You still haven't thought of anything, have you? Oh, that was Kurara.
You still haven't thought of anything, have you?
I told you we're not destroying Sirei.
Fine, do as you please.
Ka-chick. With those parting words, Kurara left the room. Or so I thought. I looked to see Kurara standing stock still in the open doorway. What happened? Son of a bitch. I believe I should be the one asking you two that. Sirei. Well, whatever the case may be, doesn't change what I need to do. Okay. It's just such a weird ending out of ideas. Like, a couple of these have been kind of funny. That was just, we sit here and think for a few hours trying to think of a way to get around not destroying Sirei, just for Sirei to show up and be like, yeah, I was listening the whole time, but for some reason, only in this timeline. I don't know. That was probably the dumbest of them so far. Alright, 2 more to go. I'm guessing choosing not to help the faction will just end in Goto killing me. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, time to blow you up then.
What? I can't help you.
Well, what? Why not? Don't you believe me?
No, it makes sense, and normally I would believe you.
Then why?
I want to believe all this meant something. I want to believe Sirei has been supporting us all this time, and that my reason for fighting hasn't just been one big mistake.
Huh.
Clap, clap, clap. Goto gave a condescending laugh and a golf clap before speaking.
You pass.
Huh?
The anti-Exodus faction, the brainwashing, it was all a complete lie. I told you about the opposition forces to test your loyalty, Mr. Sumino. You see, there's still a chance that there's a spy hidden among the Special Defense Unit.
Seriously? That's all this was? I was less than amused at being tested like this. Well, I'm glad it was all a lie, at least. Truly glad, in fact. Yep.
Are you really that gullible?
Boys are so slow on the uptake.
Rude. And conspiracy route, just a test. One final ending, whether or not to take the red pill, and gee, I wonder how this is gonna go. Alright, I'm not gonna take it. I believe in Sirei. I'll pass. For all you have to say about Sirei, you're pretty sketchy yourself. There's no telling what the pill will actually do to me if I take it. Those are pretty natural suspicions, don't you think?
Well, your argument is quite sound. It's exceedingly right-minded and super-duper reasonable. But sound arguments won't change the world around you.
Huh? Okay.
Don't think less of me for this, but if you don't have any intention of leaving the pro-faction, then I can't let you live. If you're going to blame anything, blame the pro-faction's cunning. And your own foolishness.
Okay. And finally, conspiracy route, a fair point. Well, that'll do it for this route. Surprisingly, a fairly short one. I feel like this is going to be even shorter than Ato's route. But next time, we have whether or not to let Hideko destroy Nico, which we did choose to let it happen last time, so I don't know what stopping her is going to do. But alright, that'll do it for this video. I tell you what, if we have more routes like that, maybe it won't take me 100 more videos to finish this game. I mean, I'm assuming not every route is going to be like that, but yeah, it was a pretty straightforward one. Some of them, like I said, they were funny. I feel like what this does show, though, is there is a faction of humans that is against what we're doing. And again, I think that's going to play into what happened with Ato. I don't know when we're going to get that answer. But something else I am kind of curious about, assuming we're going to get more information about the anti-Exodus faction, are they against humans living on this planet? Like, are they against the inhumane way that they're planning on doing this? Or are they just against humans living at all? Like, they just think, well, we screwed the planet over, it's time for us to die. Because I think that was talked about at some point. So it does raise some interesting questions, and I do hope we'll get some answers about that in the future. Because while second scenario definitely did answer a lot of questions about why we're here, who we are, and all of that, there are still some questions that I have that, like I said, for Ato, I'm waiting to get answers about why he is the way that he is. Because he can't just be, oh, it's just a defect. Like that's too coincidental. And so every single time I feel like maybe we'll finally get some answers. Ultimately, it doesn't really lead to anything. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get answers or if we're just supposed to maybe make some guesses here or there. But I do feel like most of the time with Kodaka and Uchikoshi games, they both do a good job of tying up loose ends in their games. They don't leave too much open-ended outside of sometimes the ending itself can be a bit open-ended about what the whole truth is. But typically the details, they're both very good about filling in those gaps. And we do see everything sort of wrap itself up nicely. But yeah, I'm sort of enjoying getting to see some of these different endings though, just to see how everything changes with each decision that gets made. But next time, I really do wonder what is going to happen with trying to stop Hideko from destroying Nigo. Because I'll be honest, I wanted to let her because I figured Nigo and Sirei were not to be trusted. And so it seemed fine to just let it happen. And so the fact that Nigo ended up surviving that whole exchange, it does make me wonder what's possibly going to happen in the other timeline, and how that's also going to change things going forward. So that is the one intriguing thing about this game that still has me hooked and has me excited to keep playing. Because obviously if these other timelines and these other decisions weren't interesting, I would be done playing by now. I'd be like, I don't need to see all these other timelines. So I'll look forward to that next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. With all that being said, cue the outro. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I really hope you enjoyed it. First and foremost, please leave some comments down below with some of your experiences from this game. I love getting to chat with people about how they felt when they played the game. Also, if you have some tips and tricks, that would be much appreciated. Or if you just want to tell me how bad I am at this game, that's fine too, as long as you keep it spoiler free. I also have a review channel where I watch and talk about some of my favorite TV shows and movies, as well as a channel where I talk soccer, so if you want to give those channels a follow, that would be much appreciated. Lastly, if you want to help this channel improve in quality, or if you want to see me play more games, I do have a Patreon where all the proceeds will go directly to this channel, and all of this is down in the description below. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.